We got some breaking news, Vikings fans, as Kwesi Adofo-Mensah finally woke up. It took us about 2 hours after the free agency period officially started, but the Minnesota Vikings are signing Isaiah Rodgers, cornerback, Super Bowl champ of the Philadelphia Eagles, to a 2-year, $15 million deal. Only about $8 million of that is going to be guaranteed money. And I can already see people freaking out like, oh, why don't we go get DJ Reed? Why don't we go get this guy? Be patient with the Vikings. They're clearly slow moving throughout this free agency period. So we'll break down Isaiah Rodgers. What does this mean for Byron Murphy Jr.? Could he still have a door open to return? Also, the Vikings are apparently talking to Jeff Okudah. So we'll dive into it all on today's show. But before we do so, this is why you guys hit that subscribe button. It is going to be a crazy next couple of days covering the Minnesota Vikings. So if you guys want to stay up to date and not miss a thing around your favorite football team, hit that subscribe button, lock us in. We're actually closing in on 53,000 subscribers. We're less than 50 away. So go down there, hit that subscribe button. Maybe you can be the subscriber that gets us to 53,000. So hit that subscribe button today, lock us in. Don't miss a thing around your Minnesota Vikings. All right, so the Vikes officially signed Isaiah Rodgers to a 2-year, $15 million deal. Listen, this is just a depth move, I think. I don't think the Vikings are viewing him as like a true starter at that position. Now, yes, that could be the case, but I still think the Vikings are going to take another big move at the cornerback position. I don't think they're going to be comfortable rolling with Isaiah Rodgers, Mekhi Blackmon, and Dwight McGlothern rolling in as the starting 3 cornerbacks next season. So I know everybody's freaking out about this. I understand. I wanted the Vikings to go get DJ Reed, who went to the Detroit Lions, but I still think this is a solid move. He had a good year for the Philadelphia Eagles, just rotational guy for that secondary who had a monster year. Now, Isaiah Rodgers, these were just raw stats from this past season, but PFF graded him out. Listen to this. He was the 20th highest graded cornerback according to PFF with out of 233 eligible corners. He had a coverage grade of 74.0, which was 31st out of 223 eligible cornerbacks. He also had a run defense grade of 80.6. So the Vikings, they're kind of taking a money ball route here. Like, obviously, this isn't the big move like the DJ Reed signing or even like a Paulson Adebo who went to the New York Giants. But his PFF grades over the last 4 seasons. Now, this is in very limited snaps. In 2021, when he was with the Colts, he had 525 snaps, 70.7 overall grade. In 2022, with the Colts, 434 snaps, 82.1 PFF grade. He had that year off in 2023 because of the gambling issues off the field. But in 2024, with the Eagles, in 329 snaps, he had a 76 overall grade and a 74 overall coverage grade. So, listen, I'm not saying this guy is going to come in here, change life for the Minnesota Vikings. I think this is just another rotational guy that they will have in this organization, in that cornerback group, and I still think there's a bigger fish out there. I do not think the Vikings are going to be comfortable with Rodgers, Blackmon, Dwight McGlothern being their 3 cornerbacks. So I know everybody's freaking out. Just be patient. I could see another big signing like a Charvarius Ward or maybe a Asante Samuel Jr., but maybe this could just be, almost Byron Murphy insurance, where if Byron Murphy does sign somewhere else, they just wanted to get another guy in that organization. Super Bowl champ, should be a good locker room guy for this young cornerback group, but he graded out very well according to PFF. And a little joke here, the Vikings signed Rodgers. Just thankfully it was not Aaron. They signed Isaiah Rodgers, which is a good thing. But I know a lot of fans have a lot of different thoughts on this signing. If you guys could go down there, grade the signing for me, get out those red pens, give me an A, B, C, D, or F. How are you feeling about it? If I had to give a letter grade for this, I'm going to probably give this a C+. It's not like I'm thrilled about this signing by any means. This is not a needle mover. It's not like we're bringing in a blue chip cornerback. I just think this is another depth guy. He'll be a good rotational cornerback. Very curious to see how he will play. See how he will play in the Brian Flores system. But still, big fan of this move. We will see. We will see how this ends up paying out. But also keep in mind, last free agency, you picked up Andrew Van Ginkel on that 2-year cheap deal. Blake Cashman was a cheaper deal. And, the Vikings kind of went Moneyball last free agency. So maybe Isaiah Rodgers, him getting more playing time with the Vikings, is still a young guy. He was a 6th-round pick back in 2022 by the Indianapolis Colts. And also in the postseason here, one little quick note on Isaiah Rodgers. Now, he barely played in the Super Bowl. He only had 8 snaps, but he had an 81.7 overall PFF grade. And then in the divisional round, when he had his most snaps of 57, he had a 46 overall PFF grade. So, a lot of up and down, metrics for Isaiah Rodgers, but still, he's a 5'10" corner, went to college, played his collegiate ball at Massachusetts, 5'10", 170 pounds, smart player, former 6th-round pick. And if you guys are hating on this signing, it's a 2-year, $15 million deal with $8 million guaranteed. This is not going to break the books for the Vikings by any means. And let's just say Isaiah Rodgers is a disaster. You could just cut him after 1 year. Hence why only $8 million is guaranteed money. But why I think Vikings fans are freaking out? Probably because of this. Drew Dalman, if you guys didn't get the news, he did end up signing a 3-year, $42 million deal with the Chicago Bears, making him the second highest paid center in the National Football League, just behind Chiefs center Creed Humphrey. Now, I know a lot of us wanted to go get Drew Dalman, and maybe the Vikings just viewed him, a little too expensive for their liking. And the Bears, I think a lot of us are just upset that you see the Bears go trade for Joe Thuney, go trade for Jonah Jackson. You're able to sign Drew Dalman, but there are some other, free agent center targets out there if it's not Garrett Bradbury. Here's the list. Now, obviously, Drew Dalman off this list, but you could still go a guy like a Ryan Kelly. He will be out there. Josh Myers from the Packers. Andre James is out there from the Las Vegas Raiders after he got cut. Watch out for Bradley Bozeman. I can see the Vikings being interested in him, but I know people are freaking out right now. The Vikes weren't able to get Drew Dalman. Clearly, they viewed him as just too expensive at that center position. So if I had to call it right now at the center spot, I'd probably say the Vikings are going to roll back with Garrett Bradbury. Maybe they're hoping they'll get better play out of Garrett Bradbury at that center position with better guards around him. So don't expect him to get cut. But right now, Isaiah Rodgers, the only move the Vikings have made so far. And listen, Drew Dalman, you know what I can't wait for? If the Vikings, as they are right now, they're meeting with Jonathan Allen, potentially Milton Williams still on the board. Heard talks about him going to the Carolina Panthers. Nothing has came to fruition, but I can't wait for Jonathan Allen, Dallas Turner, Jonathan Grenard, Andrew Van Ginkel to kick this dude's ass in the NFC North. So, yeah, Drew Dalman, big news in the NFC North. Now, we'll talk about DJ Reed here in a second, but, hey, a little shout-out for you guys. If you guys want to get a J.J. McCarthy jersey today, just head over to chatsports.com/Vikings jersey. Got that link for you guys in the comments section and description of today's show. If you guys want to check him out, get a McCarthy jersey today. Hit that link. Get those number 9 jerseys. It's going to be a hot jersey in U.S. Bank Stadium this year. So if you guys could, hit that link, chatsports.com/Vikings jersey. Now some more NFL free agency news. Shocker here, man. I really thought DJ Reed had a good chance of going to the Vikes because we heard the coaching staff. They were big fans of DJ Reed, and he has done a number on Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison throughout his NFL career. Even in the 2022 season when the Jets came to town, DJ Reed was fantastic. And then the London game last year, DJ Reed did a great job going against Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. And we heard the Vikings coaching staff were big fans of this guy. He ends up going to the Detroit Lions. Now, he's a 5'10" corner, or 5'9" corner, plays a lot bigger than that. Typical outside guy. So, hey, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, if you guys are watching this video, this is target number 1 when we're playing the Lions. Hopefully they can win that battle here in the near future. But still, DJ Reed, unfortunately, will not be signing with the Minnesota Vikings. Wish it was a different situation where the Vikings could have landed him, but still, he had a good year with the New York Jets this past season. One of the most underrated cornerbacks in the NFL, in my opinion. Just a stud at that outside cornerback position. But the Vikings are going a little money ball here with Isaiah Rodgers. Now, we'll see if we get any more news about the Vikings making any more signings. That's more reason to hit that subscribe button. But that's the big news of the day. The Vikings are signing Isaiah Rodgers to a 2-year, $15 million deal with $8 million in guaranteed money. I'm not saying I'm the biggest fan of this. I'm not saying I hate the move. That's why I gave it a C+ when I was grading it. But still, just a solid move by the Vikings. This maybe could leave the door open for Byron Murphy returning. We'll see how that plays out. But they're going to have to make another move at the cornerback position. I think this is just a depth piece where potentially the Vikings could be just getting another guy they can have in that rotation. But, hey, if you guys made it to the end of today's show, hit me with a SKOL down below in the live chat. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. We are live on YouTube right now, so if you guys want to tune in, hop in the live chat, hit that subscribe button, and also give me a SKOL if you guys watch this entire thing. But again, friendly reminder, subscribe here to the channel. Do not miss a thing around the Minnesota Vikings. And then also hit me up on Twitter. That's a handle at Pat Sieps. Hit me up over there. I'll give you guys a follow right back. But it's going to be a crazy time for the Minnesota Vikings over the next couple of days. So we can see you guys next time. As always, SKOL Vikes.